Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the source material to really understand one of the most powerful yet often invisible parts of any company, its internal culture.
So let's just jump right in with a big question. You see companies in the same industry, right? They're facing the exact same challenges, but somehow, some of them just thrive while others completely falter. What's going on there? What is that unseen force that makes all the difference?
Well, to figure that out, we have to get our heads around a key idea. Every single business is basically living in two different worlds at the very same time. And understanding this split is honestly the key to the whole thing. On the one hand, you've got the external environment. You can think of this like the weather, the economy, new regulations, what your competitors are up to. A company has to deal with it for sure, but it can't actually control it. And then, on the other hand, you have the internal environment. This is everything happening inside the company's own walls, the stuff it can and absolutely should be shaping.
Okay, so let's step inside those walls for a minute. What are the actual levers that a company can pull to steer its own ship, no matter how stormy it gets outside?
The sources really zero in on a few critical internal forces. You've got things like unions, which obviously play a huge role in protecting workers. You have professional groups setting standards. But the thing that sits right at the very heart of it all, the one the sources keep coming back to, is organizational culture.
And that right there brings us to the core of this whole explainer. If we really want to get why some companies consistently win, we have to talk about culture.
So what is it, really?
The easiest way to think about it is like a company's personality. It's that special mix of shared values, beliefs, and all those unwritten rules that make it different from everyone else. It's the vibe, It's just how we do things around here. And this quote? It's a perfect example. This isn't just some slogan they slapped on a poster. It's a real living philosophy. At the Tata conglomerate, this single powerful idea shapes everything they do, from who they hire to how they manage their teams.
So if you think of that external environment as the map of the world a company has to navigate, then its culture, that's its internal compass. It's the thing that points the way for every single decision and every single action.
But let's get real for a second. Culture is rarely all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, what the sources show is that it's often the very place where conflict and tensions start to bubble up.
Now, what's so fascinating here is how this breaks down that fundamental tug-of-war that exists in pretty much any organization. It's the individual's personal goals pulling against the company's goals. It's our desire for freedom and autonomy pulling against the organization's need for discipline and structure. This friction, it's always there.
And the way a company chooses to deal with these natural tensions, well, it pretty much leads them down one of two very different paths when it comes to managing their people. On one side, you have what the research calls a commitment system. The whole goal here is to empower people to build up trust and get them truly dedicated. Then, on the other side, you have a control system. This one's all about enforcing the rules, keeping costs down, and making sure everyone's following orders, usually with close supervision. So here's the kicker from the sources. It's not about choosing one or the other. That's a false choice. The absolute highest performing companies, they actually manage to do both at the same time. Think about a championship sports team. The players have incredible trust and freedom on the field. That's commitment. But they also have a super strict playbook and absolute standards they have to meet. And that's control.
Okay, so let's bring all of this into the here and now. With everything going on in the modern workplace, why is getting this internal culture right more important than maybe ever before? I mean, just look at this. The shift to hybrid work isn't a small change. It's a massive earthquake. And it's projected to hit 81% of the workforce. This new reality is putting a ton of pressure on the old ways of doing things. Because when your team isn't all in the same room 5 days a week, what's holding it all together? It's the culture. A strong shared culture becomes the invisible glue, the thing that actually makes it possible for people to connect and work together effectively.
And hey, if you need any more proof that this stuff really matters, just follow the money. The global market for diversity, equity, and inclusion is on track to hit a staggering $15.4 billion by 2026.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some feel-good initiative. This is a massive strategic investment. Companies are pouring billions into DEI because they get it. Having an inclusive culture isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It is a core business asset that actually drives performance. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? It's that while you can't control the storms happening out in the world, you have total control over your internal environment. And building a strong, intentional culture is like building a really, really good compass. It's the one tool that will guide you through literally any challenge.
Which leaves us with one final thought. In a world that's being completely remade by AI and new ways of working, is the culture where you are a relic of the past, or is it a revolution that's ready for what's next?